This is Amani with Build Brothers here at 1630 Capistrano Avenue. Started my digital inspection. What we're looking at is the flat section on the garage, and this is a modified bitumen torch material. This house was built in 1978 and has been updated since. An indication of that is the drip edge along the perimeter. And you can see here quite a bit of granule loss, and this just happens over time with age, with weathering. Over time, those oils on each sheet begins to evaporate in the sun, and those granules start to wash off. You start to see some of that fiberglass showing through. We do see very little bleed out in between each of these seams. Normally we like to see at least 1/4 to 1/2 inch of bleed out when these are installed, but we're not seeing that. And on the main part of the house, what we're looking at is a 3-tab asphalt shingle, and you can see a little bit of that fiberglass starting to shine through. Again, this happens over the time when that material begins to bake in the sun. And we can see a little repair section right here. So you can see this portion right here doesn't match the color perfectly with this portion. Again, you can see some granule loss right here. But there's multiple portions on here where, normally we stay away from repairing small sections on asphalt shingles because stuff like this can happen, where essentially what you have to do is rip up the old material in order to put that new part underneath, and it's not always gonna line up perfectly, and you're gonna have exposures like this. Again, we see exposed nail heads. A lot of this is starting to flap open. This tar adhesive that glues it down is starting to degrade. So again, this is why we normally avoid doing repairs like this. And again, you can see how that flapping is a concern. Moving on, there is solar on here. Normally when the installers put the solar panels on, they have various anchor points for fall safety, and you can see one of those anchors that was sealed up with a metal plate underneath here. Not sure how many panels we have, but seems to be installed properly. Don't see any concerns with the anchor points, and you can see that shine coming through. But moving along the edge here, something I want to point out, a lot of these starter shingles along the edge are just flapping with the wind. There's nothing holding these down. And you could actually see, almost looks like 2 layers under here. A couple exposed nail heads. Moving on to the perimeter over here. Again, you can see more of those shingles. And more here, more damaged shingles over here on the perimeter. These are starting to lift up. And then this one right here, this one's lifting up pretty bad. So essentially every time there's a wind spell or wind-driven rain, that water is having an opportunity to get directly underneath these shingles and down to the wood decking. So essentially every time there is a heavy rain, the homeowner is having a leak. A lot of water ponding up right here in this area, and again, a lot of water pushing against the shingles and lifting those starter shingles up, and allowing that water to enter. And we see another fall safety anchor point right here, which is starting to come up again. So yeah, really, there's no doing a repair on this roof. I would recommend a full tear off and update this, because there's multiple parts that are failing, and there's visible signs of aging. So these are indications that the product is past its life expectancy. And yeah, I would want to remove this down to the wood decking, address any rotten wood. And with bad wood, we can never tell how much wood needs to be repaired until we actually rip off the old material. So keep that in mind. And for this portion, if we were to update this roof, we definitely want to replace torch down with TPO. TPO is a synthetic material. It's widely used on flat roofs, and it does a very good job at waterproofing long term and lasting up to the UV rays from the sunlight. So yeah, definitely time for an updation on this roof. Thank you.